Welcome to today's video. I have a new product for you, actually two, from Natasha Denona. So we have her little 5-pan Zendo, and we have I Need a Glow highlighter, which looks like yay. Let's start with this, and we're just going to put it on the eyes. Well, actually, I'm going to swatch. So I'm just going to swatch this to this. Very, very creamy. If you're new here, I'm a very big fan of Natasha Denona's colors. I like the way she puts them together, and this one is a shimmer. I like her formulas. This one is silvery. Here is another matte. So these two are mattes, and another shimmer. So this is what we have for the color story. And this is really interesting. Actually, I was just thinking this might really work nicely in the bronze palette. There's those two very, very unique colors that I love so much. Might work well with that. So I'm just going to do a little application. They feel really nice. I'm not going to bore you with any other kind of details. We just want to see what it looks like. On my lids, there might be a little bit of foundation, not much. And I'm just kind of feeling out the eyeballs here. Okie dokie. So as a fan of Natasha Denona, I of course always want to like what she's doing. That's not always the case. Okay, I'm uneven. Let me fix that. And some of her colors don't really work well for me. Some of her formulas. But I think this one is going to be fine. Alright. It's an unusual color. I don't know how to describe it. Kind of a terracotta, but not quite. It almost doesn't have enough orange in it. I think for a lot of skin tones, this is going to be fabulous. I'm just going to get a blender and blend out the edges before I do anything else, but so far, goes on good. There. This could actually be, and I know I say this a lot, a really nice one and done. It's in the realm of a skin tone, in the realm of a neutral without being beige, without being brown, without being pink, which I consider to be a neutral. It's like maybe a pink brown. I am going to take this color with that same fluffy brush because I'm lazy, and I'm going to put this on the lid. And most of my lid has some bit of color on it, but I just want to open it up a little bit, especially towards the inner. And no problem at all. And then whatever's left on that brush, I'm just going to blend out the edge a little bit so there's a nice fade. It does give me kind of a bit of a fall vibe. This is an unusual palette in that I don't know that I would look at this and say it's a season. I recognize that it is fall, or we're coming close to fall. And I can see how this would come out during the fall. But it's not what I think of as fall. I think of yellows, burnt oranges, and this is not an orange. I think of, you know what I think of? This is a traditional fall palette to me. And this is Denona's version of fall. And I have to say, I really appreciate the fact that she's going outside the box. She's not doing the oranges and the browns and the yellows. Not that I don't like those colors, especially yellow. Yellow is underloved, underused, underappreciated for eyeshadows. So she's mixed it up a little bit. So basically with these metallic colors, you would, for instance, if you're doing a spotlight, you would put that silver right in there or inside. I think that's more of a evening look. You could do this on the outer edge to darken things up. Again, more evening. And then you could take this one, which is more monochromatic. We're going to start by doing a little finger application with this one and see what happens. And I'm going to start on the inner lid, but I'm not going to do the tear duct. It's not incredibly shiny. Let's try it again. There we go. I don't think it's incredibly shiny. I'm not mad at it. But if you're looking for something that has a lot of pow to it, oddly enough, it looks a little more shiny on this eye. Maybe it's just the way the light is hitting it because I'm facing the door now. But I'd say that's super, 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 super neutral. Now I'm going to take a smaller brush. I'm going to take this because it's a little more dense, and I'm going to go in with this darker color and just deepen up the outer edge. Oh God, it's so not my look. You know what? I think I'm just going to go initially by the lash line. And now I guess I'm going to make this an outer corner kind of situation. But I'm really using a light hand because I'm cognizant of the fact that it is day. Okay, now we're having a little bit of issues where the crepeys are. Right here where I'm getting a couple of wrinkles. So I'm going to blend that out. And this one is working very nicely too. It's working much better on this eye than on that eye. But that could be my fault. But I don't know, I just didn't feel like it got a little clumpy where those lines are starting. I'm just blending it with a different brush so it's nice and soft. Like right here, there's like the skin goes out a little bit, which makes it hard, but also these little lines, which makes it hard. But when I look in the mirror here, I think it actually looks quite nice. All right, I'd say overall, this is a really nice palette. I really like it. It is fall, but it's not using the usual fall colors. And I think what I got right here is totally doable during the day, even though I used 2 shimmer colors. The shimmers are not too much. If you're looking for wham bam, blinding you kind of a thing, you might be disappointed with this. It might apply differently if it's wet. But I did use my finger for the lighter color, and I just don't feel like I got a lot of sheen in that. Now let's move on to the highlighter. The highlighter has these beautiful, I don't know how to describe it. When I saw this online, I thought it might be 2 shades that you mix together because of the way this is cut and pressed. It's not cut, I'm sure it's pressed, but it has this slightly, what would I say? Kind of a little bit of a deco nature to it. Really pretty to look at. And I did hand swatch it, and it was very, very smooth. But when I hand swatched it, I thought, wow, This looks a lot like the Charlotte Tilbury limited edition that I returned because it looked a lot like Opal from Becca. So this is the color. Here's my teeny weeny little Opal. And the Opal feels more powdery. And from my view, looking down over it, they're really similar. Looking in this mirror right here, they're really similar. And I did check it downstairs, outside, and really similar. So this is the Denona, I Need a Nude, and this is Opal. It's kind of crazy to me that two brands, not one but two brands, are doing a color very, very similar to something that's already out. Now when I look with my hand is down right here, so the light's not reflecting onto it, I do feel that the Denona is lighter in tone and there's more darkness to the Opal. Let's try it on. So observe, I do have a little bit of sheen going on here. This is called my skincare, my sunscreen, and my foundations. I have one other Natasha Denona highlighter, which I really like. I haven't worn it in a long, long time. I used it in a comparison recently because it has a little too much gold for my taste. This looks like skin. There is nothing chunky going on here. It just, I'm using my 8X and I just don't see a change in texture. And in fact, I'm like, is this on? What's going on here? Yeah, it's on. But it is finely milled and it looks really pretty on the skin. It looks like it's my skin. I don't mind this. I don't mind this. I'm kind of surprised. I think it's because it is lighter than the Opal, so it's a little bit better for my skin tone. And my skin tone, I've written down my colors below. But today, for instance, I use, this is the, before it was reformulated, 123, and the 30 in this. This is too dark, this is too light. And I'm just going to take a little more and do a little bit of a nose highlight. It's pretty subtle. I'm going to try it with the finger. I probably shouldn't. I should probably use an eyeshadow brush. I mean, I see it, but it's a little subtle compared to what I usually like to do with the Charlotte Tilbury Spotlight. So let's just see if I can get a little more color here. This is a great color for me. It's a great color and it's not chunky and it looks like skin. I'm not seeing, oh, there's skin and oh, there's some stuff on the cheeks and now it's gone. I really, really like this. I'm so surprised because at first I was interested because it looked like it was two colors. Then I got it and I realized it's one color and then I thought it looks a lot like the Opal / the Charlotte Tilbury limited edition, but it is a little bit lighter and I feel like the formula is a little better. It's been a couple weeks since I've done that, but this just feels like there's no chunky monkey going on here. Okay, I am going to do a little lining on my eyes, a little mascara, some brows, and I'll come back and share my blush ideas and lip ideas. See you in a sec. Hi. I came back, but I forgot to turn the camera on. So this is what I did. I put on a little blush. I did She's So LA Patrick Ta, and then I did Strawberry Drip with the Fenty, and I did fill out my brows a little bit. On the lips, I used the Brave from Rare Beauty. And then I told you what my conclusions are. So my conclusions, oh, and I did a comparison swatch. This is my very favorite highlighter. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Wand in Spotlight. And this is the Denona, this is the Opal, and this is quite a bit lighter. But I do like this color. I'm going to play with it for a couple of more days and see. And as I said, when I'm holding it up and the sun reflects, these two colors, the opal and the I Need a Nude, look very, very, very similar. But when my hand is down, I can see that the opal is quite a bit darker. So this isn't exactly like what I have, and it is probably a little bit different from the Charlotte Tilbury limited edition. If you have that, you might not need this though. They are close enough. If you missed out on that, you might want to try this. I kind of like this formula a little bit better. It feels really smooth to the touch on the face, and it looks very, very smooth. It just looks like skin. That's that. I love this color story. I think it's a fantastic story. It's just another interpretation of fall, unlike something I've ever seen before. And again, when I think of fall, let me take the plastic off here, I think of colors like this. And colors like this are just kind of, what? You know, it's even hard to say what is that color. But I think it has a great effect. I think it'll be great on many different eye colors, probably all eye colors. I think Natasha has brown eyes, doesn't she?
Yeah.
I really, really like it. I'm very, very pleased. It's just something a little bit different, and I think you can make this a little more evening. For instance, you could do this all over the lid and then do some silver on it maybe. It's just, this is such an interesting kind of color. If you have the bronze palette, this might work really well with those other two very unique colors. I would actually say all of this would work well with the bronze palette. Even though that is more bronze, I think these would work nicely with it and give it a little bit more dimension. And if you've never tried Natasha Denona before, this formula feels wonderful. It works really well. I just had a little problem where I have this cluster of lines. But otherwise, I didn't have any problems at all. So if you've never tried a Denona, this might be a really, really good way to start, because it's not like everything else, you know? It's not camel, it's not taupe, it's neutral with a little something something. And that's going to wrap it up for me, you guys. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.